with, or types of people that I hate. Honestly, not because I'm a guru, because I don't think I'm one. I'm so far from turning anyone genius, because majority times I'm even operating below my own standards of intelligence. So let alone defying someone else in that category. It's just that some categories of people tend to surprise me, and this is probably the list that I could put together. Impersonators, people who want to say something but they end up saying something else, surely because of social stigmas, or the preferred thought process around them. They somehow try to suit the occasion. They seldom end up saying the truth about what they actually feel, or what they actually want to support. Also, a very ordinary category is people who can impersonate themselves to be from some cultural descent. You know, the world that I deal with, I often come across people who want to sound Australian and who want to be posh like the Brits. But I'm an Indian. I'm proud to sound the way I do. You know, I think that's enough to stay alive and to breathe. So why not? Proud to be an Indian that way. Hypocrites. This is one category that is not just dangerous, but they are horribly confusing for especially the younger ones. These are people who have been there, done that, and I'm going to get back to that list separately, so don't confuse yourself. This is the category who has tried everything themselves, but they will always have some guidance to offer to you in terms of avoiding that path. Now, their intentions are great because they don't want you to undergo the suffering that probably they did, but they don't realize, unfortunately, that you will not have the story that they lived. It was them, and this is you. Their challenges and strengths were totally distinct. Unfortunately, they just don't seem to get this. They can't just stop advising you because they have walked that path before you. And mostly, these are mess ups. These are people who messed up in their lives horribly, and now they want you to avoid it and still sound genius. I wonder what pleasures are derived out of that process, but still, it's surprising. Then there is the I'm the wise one category, because I've seen more days, more sunrises, more sunsets. That's just more resources consumed, my friend, honestly. Just because you're older, I wonder how you figure out that you're wiser. It's as good as someone who scored more in some examination telling you that he or she knows more about the subject and hence has more knowledge. Knowledge is application of the acquired education. I see a lot of people talking about great standards of life, great food, but they still have a pot belly. How are you applying your knowledge? You are not applying your knowledge, right? You read it, you attain great marks, but you don't apply it to your life. So please, start to implement what you say yourself first. Live that life, people will see you, and if they find it interesting for themselves, they will automatically adapt that lifestyle. Please don't push people, to fit into your category. It's just a request. It just looks demeaning to individuality. I don't know. Everybody is an individual, they have to make their own choices. Often you call your choice as your experience. That's one disastrous drawback. It was a choice that you made. You push a certain button. I may not feel like pushing it at that time. It's all a matter of time. Eventually, I might end up pushing that button. You should not come back and tease me with it and expect me to respect you. I told you this will happen. No, it's because you've been through that path. Eventually, I may feel like doing what you ended up doing, but I still want to make the mistakes. That is where my learning is derived from, you see? So, be generous, especially to the younger lot. They need to have experiences. What else is life for? You're given this life to make mistakes, to be a mess, then overcome your challenges and then live. Otherwise, it won't be interesting at all. Okay, so there is something called a theme tree owner. Okay, this is one person who tells you exactly, in the world of quality we use this expression, theme tree owner. That's the guy who guides you on your projects and all of that. That is the guy who decides what will you do in that project at what point of time, what is a great practice, what is not the best practice. It suits business space. Don't be a theme tree owner of a family or a culture. You're not the owner of anything, technically. Not even the owner of your own car. You know, you're just someone who has the control of it. Currently, if it gets stolen, the control instantly gets transferred, right? Nobody owns that machine because it's not a part of you. All you own is yourself. In my head, I don't know. Like I said, I'm no genius, but that's all that I've realized practically. Control freaks fit that category perfectly. Those are people who can tell you what is nice, what is not nice, what should be done, what should not be done, what will the family enjoy, what will they not. These are people who actually ask you for a dine out and then they choose the restaurant for you. They don't even check with you if you prefer that restaurant, that food or not. Because now that they have control of the situation, they will drive the car. And you just need to sit there and go with it. Probably you are someone with an individuality. If you are, then you will definitely suffer that evening. So stay away from control freaks. I know it all population, I'm sure you meet them very often in your workspaces, your daily lives. These are people who say instantly that I know what you're talking, but they act that's the first sign of them to know the least. They probably haven't seen life at all, hence they don't respect new information. It's probably something new that they're just about to get exposed to, but just by the virtue of the fact that they think they know it all, they actually block themselves from anything to enter their heads eventually. I know more because I've lived more. Like I told you, some people are more aged and hence they think they are wiser. Just because you've been repeating your mess ups for 10 extra years, it does not mean you try to coach someone who's younger to you. You should be someone who genuinely is more tolerant, more respectful, more dignified, more patient, more stable. Not someone who cries at the fall of a hat, not someone who laughs on things which are least expected to be laughed upon. If you're not emotionally stable, you're not there yet. It's just as simple. I know you. Now that's the biggest blunder that that I have personally committed when I was a teenager and said, I know what you're thinking, I know who you are, I know what you need in life and all of that. But I'm glad I'm off that phase and I don't say that to anyone anymore. I know nobody. As a matter of fact, I don't even know myself completely. Every day I'm discovering this new shade of me. I'm exposed to a new situation and I realize how I respond to it. That's when I know that, oh, so I'm even capable of doing that, let alone knowing someone else. We can never know anybody. We should not know someone else. We don't need to know someone else. Hence, they are gifted with one unique brain so that they can manage their lives. We need to manage things around us. We don't need to master people around us. We are no masters. We will be dead one day. Yes or no? So we will be dead one day. Hence, all we have time for is to live our own lives and then set off. A lot of times this is a result of apprehension, to follow the best trends. Just because my best friend has taken up music and he's doing great, I might feel that, what if I had taken up music? Probably I might have done great in life. Now that I'm saying music, you must be thinking, well, that's a talent. It could be anything, doctorate, law, anything that is more common in the society. That is a messy thought. That may work with that person, It may work for 10 years, then may not work, So you cannot stamp people as successful or unsuccessful overnight. It's about how they are managing their life in that role or that line of business. Eventually, till they die, till the day that they are dead, we cannot say if they were successful or not. And unless we hear it from their mouths that they were happy about whatever happened, majority people would want to say nice things to you in spite of suffering at the personal front. Even I've done that. We don't share problems with people, right? We usually tell them, well, I'm doing great, I'm happy with my life, because that's the only motivation that we can spare for ourselves. So we can't blame people for it. It's not lying. It's a great act, I would say. But it can mislead you into something that you're just not made for. You're not cut for some things. Like I was not cut for digging myself into books all day long and going to the best university in the world and acquiring the most sought after degree. I was not cut for that. And I'm glad that I did not even try beyond I did. Because I would have only wasted my life after that. I got to do so many other beautiful things that many can't even try. Unless I managed to gather time for that, I would have failed. So it's not about competing with someone. Life is not about competing with someone. It's about living your life, coming to terms with it, being at peace with it, mostly. It's about saying that I want to have rice today because I have rice and I'm happy with it. You can be happy having rice if you are trained enough to condition your mind to a state of happiness. If you cannot manage your mind, it will take you wherever it wants to. It can turn you insecure in a matter of seconds. It can turn you angry at the fall of a feather. The expression, but please be more in control of yourself. Instead of trying to control the world around you, trying to make people dance to your tunes, all of those are false ambitions. Just be the master of yourself. At least try. Give it a good try. I'm trying. I've not mastered it. I'm not even close to the word mastered. But I'm trying constantly. And I can see evolution happening within me. So if it happens within you too, I'll be happy. I'll be equally happy. If my talk is taking you one step closer to that, I think I utilized cyberspace for a good cause. Thank you.